Hi, I'm Phil. This is Phil with Facts, and today we're going to be bottling the V8 Berry Splash wine. So previously, I've been trying to figure out if we can make a wine, or I should say a decent wine, out of V8 Berry Splash. We fermented it, got it all the way to 1.000. First part was done. Now we tried to clear it. And you know what? We did, to some rivaling degrees. It is pretty clear. I would give it a 6 out of 10. It is still relatively cloudy, but it's a lot clearer than I ever thought it was going to be. So I will take that. First thing we need to do is rack off the wine into a pitcher. Now I have an auto siphon here with the cap on. The cap does come off. When it's off, it'll suck everything from the bottom. You can get every ounce of liquid. However, there is a fine little yeast cake at the bottom, or at least, I should say, on the bottom of this. Very finely compacted. I don't want to get that into the wine because it will prevent it from being clear. Yeah. One end goes in. One end goes into this. You put it about halfway through, which I could see the auto siphon through this. Last time I racked it, I could not. And after a few pumps, you're pretty much good to go. You start to hit a point where you have to ask yourself, how greedy do I want to be with my brew? It's getting very close to where that cap entrance is. Once it gets there, it's going to stop the siphon. How you prevent this is you take the fermenter and you just lean it. But you want to be careful because there's still a lease at the bottom of this. You don't want to suck that into this if you can avoid it. So you can use this method, but once you see lease start to get either through or close to your auto siphon entrance, you need to stop it. And I'm going to stop it at this point. All right, so we no longer need the fermenter. So that can go away. And this is going to have to get elevated for the next step. But first, I think it's important that we do a few tests to it. First, swirl it. Without trying to get air into it, just give it a nice swirl. Then just let it break against your spoon and look in the center. The bubbles will show you how much gases are still in this brew. Before bottling, you kind of want to get a lot of those gases out. For the most part, it just makes a better product. They don't taste so well. They've been sitting in there for weeks. Next, you want to give it a little taste. Now, this is the taste that's going to let you know what you're putting in your bottle. Yes, it will improve with age. It always does. But this is a good time to understand. Does it need sweetness? Does it need body? Does it need acid? This is your last chance before it goes in the bottle to do any of that. Now, on the smell, again, it smells like a lovely strawberry wine. I don't get any other berries really from it. And the color, yeah, it's a little hazy still, but it's rather clear. I can see my fingers through it. I can see straight through the glass. It's really a lovely wine. It's lightly sweet. I was going to use a little erythritol and back sweeten it, but I don't want to. I like the sweetness level where it is. And that's important to understand. The sweetness level is your preferred sweetness level, not some recipe that says it needs to be X amount of sweetness at the end. If you like it sweeter, make it sweeter. And if you like it drier, make it drier. It's your brew. Make it the way you're going to want to drink it. Yeah. It's really a nice wine. It's a lot better than I expected. There's there's not a lot of different things going on in it. I don't want to deceive you and say V8 Splash, the best wine ever. No, it's not. And I knew it wouldn't be. But what I'm surprised about is how much strawberry, and I have to emphasize strawberry, not blackberry, not raspberry, not a berry blend. This doesn't taste like that. This tastes very similar to, actually, my strawberry jam wine. Like, it tastes like a nice, fresh strawberry. And it's lovely the way it is. I wouldn't, a million years, never would have guessed that that's the final wine. I would serve this to people. In fact, I probably am going to serve this to people. And I think it's going to be an interesting story to tell people, oh yeah, this came from V8. No one's going to believe that. I have these really cool glass blue bottles. But for video's sake, it's really difficult to see. So I also have a bourbon bottle, which used to contain bourbon. And now it's a nice bottle for bottling. And it will show you guys exactly how my bottling system works. Essentially, I'm going to use this blue bottling cap with a spring attachment. When I push the attachment down into the bottle, it will allow the wine to flow. When I pull it back out, it'll stop. So I have less mess than if I was trying to do it without it. It's not foolproof. You still get some mess. Also, I'm leaving the cap off this time because there's nothing at the bottom of this that I don't want in a bottle. And then I'm going to get stuck in my own wires because why not? Now, you have to push it down when you start racking this. And you have to do it with one hand. So it might take a little bit of practice. But you'll see it starts to flow. Now it's flowing from the bottom up, which is pushing any oxygen out, not implemented it and mixing it with my beverage. When you oxidize something, you sometimes get off flavors. Now you could worry about acetofactors, but this is above 13%, so they're really not going to turn this into a strawberry vinegar. And if they did, you could cook with it. It's not the end of the world, which is not my intended result. Now this is going to keep traveling up, and I'm really going to push it. Like, there's still all the space of the tube in this bottle, and you're counting on that. That's your headroom. But you don't want a lot of it. And you want to get your next bottle ready. And just when you think you're about to overflow, you're going to stop, move over to the next bottle, push down, and keep going. Now, naturally, the cap for that is at the bottom of my little cap cup. They're all sanitized, so I was trying to keep them together. But now you cork it, and you move on. Wash, rinse, and repeat until you are out of wine to bottle. So I ended up with 4 bottles, and then I thought I had just enough left for like a quarter of a bottle. I didn't. I had a few drops. And you know what? That's fine. We'll drink it. We made it. We like it. It's all good. And that's really it. Now, again, is it the clearest beverage ever? No. And I don't even know if you can see it, but when I put my hand through it, I can literally see right through it. Again, it's like a 5 or 6 on clarity. But it's not going to affect the flavor. So we're not going to worry about it. Now, these bottles are shelf stable at this point. There's no fermentable sugar left in them. I can store them wherever I want in my house. Now, you want a temperature controlled environment. So I tend to put them in boxes and keep them in a closet. If you wanted to put them in like a shed or a garage or a basement and there's no temperature control in there, you know what? The extreme hots to colds could affect the bottles over time and change the flavors of the wine inside. You could put them in your fridge, but they're gonna age a lot slower in a fridge. You're not gonna get the same aging qualities. And when I say aging, I just mean the rounding of flavors. Over time, wines will change naturally. It's just what they do, and they tend to get better over time. Now, this one I can drink young. I just can. It's good. It's slightly sweet, very nice fruit flavor to it. I'm not sure if that's because of whatever extracts they put into it or the natural flavors that were in the product. But it fermented and it made it wine, and I'm enjoying it. So, all in all, I'd say this was a success, and I'm very impressed by it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about what I did today, please leave them in the comments. Also, I'm going to need to know, what brew am I going to do next for Can We Brew It? I have some ideas, but I'd love to hear what you guys want to see. If you have if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. I'm uploading stuff all the time. You don't want to miss it. And guys, until next time, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and cheers.